the man who's looking for a second date update. We're going to try to help him out. Hi, Dan.
Hey, guys.
Hi, Dan.
What's happening?
Thanks for taking my call. I met this girl at opening day
Yeah.
at the Holy Grail.
Okay.
Totally hit it off. I spent a few hours with her before the game, and then during the game we texted because we were sitting in separate areas, but we kept like going back and forth with emojis and all kinds of fun flirty stuff. and a couple of tall boys into the game, we both got pretty drunk and hooked up that night, and it was pretty awesome. I wound up staying the night, and we woke up the next morning and we were both kind of like, what just happened?
Yeah.
She was affectionate. She made me coffee. We laughed. It was very comfortable, and I thought there was serious chemistry. Waking up the next day, I asked her if she's single.
Oh, great. And then after we hooked up, I asked her if she was single.
Then the thought crossed your mind that maybe.
I mean, you wake up the next day. I wasn't rushing out. I wasn't trying to just like leave and never see her again, but I also wanted to make sure there wasn't another guy in the picture.
Sure.
To make sure it's still a solid green light. She said, no, I'm single. And she seemed totally down to hang out again. Now, I've texted and I've called, not stalker level. Haven't heard anything. And I had a great time. I want to know what's up.
Seems fair.
I've been told before, there's no one else.
Oh. Well, no, but you were in her house. I mean,
there was no evidence
were you
of other dude.
There's no signs of another dude anywhere?
No, not that I could tell. Every toilet seat was down. And, just no pictures on the wall or anything like that. It's just, I didn't check every one of her.
Because we too tend to have pictures.
Yeah.
Were there a lot of pictures of her maybe cozy with one particular female?
No, well, maybe her mom.
Okay.
She had some pictures of her family.
Right, but no significant others. Why don't we take a break? When we come back, we'll call her up, see if she takes our call, see if she answers.
I hope she will.
And what she has to say about Dan as we continue. So Dan met Katie on Red's opening day at the Holy Grail. They were hanging out for quite some time before the game, and then when it was game time, they went to their respective seats, but they had exchanged numbers at that point. And we're still sort of texting each other emojis, and it just seems like the drunker they got, the more flirty it got. And by the end of it, they reunited, went back to her place where they hooked up. And the next morning, he says, so, are you single? And she says, I'm single. And everything seemed great. There seemed to be the morning after chemistry, which you don't often feel.
Yeah. It can be very awkward. It can be kind of cold. You can kind of get the feeling that you want that person. That person wants you out of their house, or vice versa.
I mean, think about how many Reds opening days have you had? Not you specifically,
right.
Jen, but to someone who maybe met someone at Reds opening day who they ultimately hooked up with, and then you woke up the next morning in their apartment and thought to yourself, oh, dear God, what have I done?
Mm-hmm.
This was not the case.
Mm-mm.
It didn't seem like the case to me, and I also usually don't do that kind of thing. It was just...
Of course you don't.
I felt like it lined up. I thought, and yes, there was. I did not get the feeling like she was booting me out onto the sidewalk.
Right.
That's
yeah.
good.
When you reach back out, try to set up a proper date, though she's been non-responsive, unfortunately.
Correct, Amundo.
Yeah. So we're gonna give her a shout, see what she says, and if there's any hope for Dan on that second date. Here we go.
Hello?
Katie.
Yeah, this is she.
Hi there. It's Jeff and Jen at Q102. How are you this morning?
Wait, Jeff and Jen?
From Q102.
Seriously?
Yes. Hi.
Hey, is this a second date update?
Why? Have you been ghosting people?
Everybody says that.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
Well, I haven't been doing a lot of dating.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know why I would have a second date update. I haven't been doing a lot.
No, but you did meet Dan on Red's opening day, and something may have gone down.
Oh, wow.
Unless you
He called
blacked
you?
out or something.
I just don't really consider that a date. That was more of a hookup.
Well,
Yeah.
yes, but a lot of these second date updates, they start out as hookups, but then you realize, hey, I kind of like this person, all right? I
Yeah.
feel like I have chemistry with this person. This is someone I'd like to be friends with, or
Yes.
maybe.
Can become more.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was fun. We were really drunk, but he did this thing that even though I was drunk, I can remember so clearly. He took my panties and he started licking them. And
He took your underwear and started licking them?
yeah,
Like in Jeff.
like he was like,
I've never seen Jeff have a visceral reaction quite like that before.
Well, that's not really where I would put my mouth, but
no.
why not just go for she's
the
right
real
here.
thing. Was this something you came around the corner and caught him doing, and maybe is some weird underwear thing he's got going on, or was he doing this blatantly right in front of you with great purpose?
yeah, exactly. He was looking right at me, like all sexy, like it was supposed to turn me on. And he was like licking an ice cream cone. And he was moaning. He was like doing weird stuff with his eyes. And then he started chewing on them, like chomping on them like they were like a big juicy steak. And I just laughed. I was like, I don't even know what to do. This is so weird.
Oh, my God. I'm so
Wow.
drunk right now.
I did what? I do not remember that at all.
Well,
That's hilarious, but that is not my big move.
I mean,
Are
I've
you
heard
sure?
of guys who are just taken with the scent of a woman, and so maybe if she's not around, then they might
Sniff it.
Right, but this is a new one.
It's taking it to a whole new level there, Dan.
I
Yeah.
can see why you think that would be weird.
Now, did he do that before you had sex with him, or was this after?
this was like before, like as like a.
Oh, great. This
like
is
a
way of
treat.
seducing you.
Yeah,
Well, I'm just thinking
yeah,
if she was that like turned on, she still slept with him after.
Here's a preview of what I'm going to do to you.
So I'm sorry. I really don't recall that. I don't know what got into me. Did I ruin your underwear? I mean, like,
No.
because I can replace them.
Oh, it's
That's
okay.
generous.
You don't need to buy me underwear.
Okay. I had a really good, especially talking to you before the game and texting with you. And then the next morning when we had coffee, I really had a good time hanging out with you. And, I'd really like to take you out for a proper date and get to know you a little better if I could.
And we'll pay for it if that makes any difference.
Okay. Okay.
Do you
Sure.
believe him that he doesn't remember, or do you think he's just saying that because it's like a really embarrassing story?
I mean, I think
You know me
both.
better than that. Come on.
Oh,
Of course
Dan,
I don't know.
you got a lot of personality, Dan.
Well, thank you.
Doesn't surprise me that you do something kind of wacky.
It was definitely weird. Yeah, sure. I'll go on another date with you. I just will not take off my underwear.
Baby steps, Dan.
I am very excited to see you again, and I'm glad that the radio is paying for this next date because I'd be happy to pay for the one after that.
Oh, look at that.
Yes, Dan, we'll set this up.
Uh-huh.
Katie, you'll be hearing from Dan. Thank you for taking the call, for
Yep.
being a great sport,
Yep.
and for going there with us.
Yes.
You definitely are single, right, Kate? There's no other
Yes.
dude.
I think
Oh
we've
my God,
established
yes.
it.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think we're
Yeah.
good there.
Yes.
Yes.
No, I'm trying to contain my excitement because I'm really looking
Because
forward.
we all
to
know
seeing
what happens when he gets.
Excited.
Yeah,
Mhm.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
So
I
wear your
know.
old underwear on dates with Dan in case, you got to throw them out after.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing expensive. All right, hang on, Dan. Katie, thanks for chatting with us.
No problem.